Hi guys, so this is a video of the Strong Vinyasa flow. You're going to need a yoga mat, otherwise if you put a towel on top of a blanket that works fine too. And then making sure that you're wearing something comfortable that you can move and breathe in. Also this flow has a lot of space for you to move your body how you want to, so I highly suggest if you want to pause the video and quickly set up a playlist that's still mellow so that you don't go completely out of your head while you're doing the flow, but has a little bit of a beat to it so you can move around that how you want to. Yeah, I would highly recommend you do that. And then this video will be split up into two parts. So the first half is going to lead you from lying down and warming up to your first Tadasana of the class. So it's all that. The first part is going to be a little bit more wiggly and roomy, and you can kind of move how you want to a lot of the time. And the second part will take you from Tadasana and put you through more of the more intensive flows that require a lot more shape holding, all the way through to your Shavasana. So yeah, cool, we can begin. You're going to start on your mats with your knees bent and your feet down into the mat. And you're going to roll your spines all the way down onto the mat. Arms down by your sides. And closing your eyes. Focusing on our breath here, you're going to breathe in through the nose, filling up the belly. Feel the breath draw down the spine. And as you exhale, allowing everything to release into the mat. So we're just releasing our body into the mat, getting used to being in this position. Breathing deeply into the belly, feel it inflate and create space. And as you exhale through your mouth, I want you to do a big sigh as you release everything into the mat. Breathing deeply into the belly, eyes are closed. And exhaling through the mouth, releasing everything. Nice big sighs. Keep going with your breath. And then we're going to do a little bit of a body scan. So I want you to draw your focus towards your head and feel it nice and heavy into the mat, almost like a sinking sensation at the back of your head. And then drawing your attention to your shoulders. Maybe you're doing this at the end of the day and you're still feeling hunched over, or everything's drawn close from being in front of a screen, or maybe on your chair for too long, or whatever the case. Sink your shoulders into the mat so that you feel a nice openness through the collarbones. Still breathing deeply, don't forget your breath. And then drawing your focus down into your pelvis, feeling a slight heaviness of the pelvis, and release in between the lumbar spine and the pelvis into the mat. And then finding our 3 points of connection in our feet. Base of big toe to baby, toe to heel in each foot, pressing down into the mat, grounding you, stabilizing you through the soles of the feet. Your arms are heavy down by your sides, palms are turned to face up towards the ceiling. Taking one more deep breath, inhaling through the nose, feel the breath travel through the spine down to the belly. And as you exhale, everything sinks and softens, releasing any thoughts that don't serve you. And beginning with some nose circles, I want you to imagine there's a pen at the tip of your nose, and you're drawing circles on the ceiling. So you're opening up the throat, rolling the head over through to one side as you draw the one arc of your circle, and then tucking the chin as you draw through the bottom of the circle, and then coming up through the other side, all the way up to opening your throat. So you're drawing a nice big circle with the nose, just mobilizing the head on top of the spine, mobilizing the very tippy top of your spine. And breathe in for half a circle and breathe out for another, so it's nice and slow, and your eyes are still closed, you're still getting used to drawing your attention inwards before we open them. I want you to feel that stretch through the back of your neck as you draw your chin down, and feel the openness through your throat as you draw up to the top of your circle, lifting the chin. And then reverse your circles, breathing in for half a circle and breathing out to finish it. Making sure you're sending that breath through the spine into the belly, creating space through the body, and exhaling to feel everything soften and release. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. Go for one more circle. And then breathe in to draw your head back to center. We're going to do a couple neck rolls just to release tension from the neck. As you exhale, you're rolling your head over to one side. Feel the back of the head glide along the mat. And then you're breathing in to come through center and exhaling to roll through to the other side. Breathing in through center and exhale, rolling. Feeling the stretch through the side of the neck, And again, think of rolling your head on top of the very top of your spine. So we're still mobilizing that tippy top just through all ranges of motion. Even yourselves out, so make sure you've done the same amount on both sides. And then you're going to bring your head back to center, your eyes still closed. Here you can slowly open them, so you're looking up towards the ceiling. And then turning your palms to face down into the mat, draw the shoulders down into the mat, make sure there's space through the chest. And we're going to go into pelvic rocks. As you breathe out, think of using the lower abdominals to scoop your pelvis and send the tailbone through to your belly button. And then inhaling to draw the tailbone down towards the mat, slight arch in the lower back. Breathing out, feel that softening and releasing of the belly facilitate the scoop of the pelvis. And then as you inhale, feel that breath ripple down the spine all the way down to your tailbone, creating length through your arch. Breathing out to scoop. If you feel like your glutes are working to do the scoop, let them go. Make it just the lower abdominals. And breathing in, rippling the breath through the spine, lengthening through the tailbone to arch. Going for 2 more in your own time. Exhale through the mouth, deep and hollow belly. Breathing in to lengthen. 1 more. And breathing in to lengthen. And then we're going to take this all the way into pelvic circles. So I want you to breathe out and come back to that scoop pelvis. And then imagining like there's a big plate at the bottom of your abdominals and you're rolling a marble around it. You're going to roll over through to your right hip and then down to your tailbone again. So you get that arch, and then breathing out to roll through the opposite hip and scooping back up to the pelvis. Inhale for half a circle, feeling the pelvis roll around to the tailbone, and breathe out to finish the circle. Again, think of letting go of the legs. You're just moving the pelvis. If you let go of the glutes, it might make the movement smaller, but that's fine, as long as you're just controlling with the lower abdominals and immobilizing the bottom of the spine with this movement. Making it nice and yummy, moving however you want to. Maybe there's a part that you feel like your body's skipping over, or maybe a specific tight spot that you want to take a moment to work into. Go for it. It's your body. There's no expectation throughout the class. And then reverse your circles if you haven't already. Breathing in for half a circle, breathe out for another half. Press through your big toes to try to keep your legs parallel, making sure they haven't flayed out to the side. So we're bringing a little bit of control and coordination into our movements. And on your next inhale, you're settling your pelvis back to neutral. You're going to draw your legs out away from you and your arms up overhead, and you're just going to stretch through your fingertips and through your toes. So pointing the feet, and then you can reach from side to side or go into ankle circles, hand circles. You just want to think of drawing one long line through the body and moving how you want to. So we're stretching energy into the body. Maybe pedal your feet, bending your knees, reaching through one side, doing whatever feels good. Breathe in, last inhale here. You're going to reach to the toes and the fingers, long line. And as you breathe out, you draw the knees in towards the chest, circle the arms around the side and clasp them over your knees. Thinking of opposite hand to opposite elbow so that your forearms are on your calves, and you're going to hug your knees in towards your chest here. I want you to breathe deeply into the belly. Feel how it presses against your thighs. And as you exhale, think of squeezing the air out of your body. So it's a nice active squeeze of the knees into the body. Breathing and press the belly against the thighs. Feeling your body inflate, and as you exhale, you're squeezing and closing it towards you. Last breath here, breathing in. And breathing out, squeezing activeness into the body. Beautiful. From here, you're going to release your arms down to your sides, and you're going to stack your knees over your hips. And then you're going to point your feet, bring your legs hip distance apart so they're separated away from each other. Or if it feels good, you can keep them together, whichever works for you. Arms are down by your sides. And you're going to breathe in to lengthen your leg up, one leg up towards the sky, point to the feet. And then breathe out to switch. And what I want you to think of doing here, you can even take your hands behind your thighs, is you're just bending from the knees. So your thigh bones stay heavy in the hip sockets and completely perpendicular and still. And you're just perpendicular to the floor, and you're just bending from the knees. Think of creating resistance through the air as you press up, breathing in to lengthen, Exhale, switch and breathe in, lengthening the other leg. Breathing out, meeting halfway, inhaling, lengthening. And then I want you to speed it up a little bit. So if you're listening to music, maybe you can go to the beat of the music, dancing your legs. Maybe you can go twice for every beat, depending on how slow your music is. And instead of just shaking your legs, I really want you to focus on that active bend and straighten. So you're not really letting go of anything necessarily, we're drawing activity into the body. Going, breathing in for 3 or 4, doing your own count, just making sure you're breathing deeply, bending and straightening, bringing energy into the legs, and then you're going to breathe in to finish with your legs straight, toes pointed, feet pointed. Your arms are going to, or your hands are going to come behind your head, clasping the hands behind the head, and find that openness in the elbows where you're not pressing your head forward, and your elbows aren't too far apart that it's pressing into your neck. You want a nice openness through the elbows. I want you to zip your legs together. So think of one long zip, just zipping it all the way up towards your pelvis. Everything squeezes together. Thighs connect, knees connect, heels connect, and balls of feet connect on the sides. And you're going to point your feet and then flex the toes back towards you. And this sensation of drawing everything together and stretching the feet and drawing the toes back should have the same kind of sensation as when you press through really tight pants. So you have that like press against the fabric and it activates all around the ankle. From here, I want you to breathe out and find those little pelvic rocks again, lower abdominals working. It's a micro movement, so it's like you barely move. You're just breathing out to lift the pelvis off the mat, keeping the legs nice and active. And then breathing into lower. You should feel a little bit of fire in your lower belly. Breathing out, using those lower abdominals to lift your pelvis up. And breathing into lower. We're going to do 3 more. Breathing out, scooping and wheeling. And inhale low. I'm shaking. Breathe out, press through the balls of the feet, lifting. Creating that fire. Inhale, lower the pelvis back to the floor. 1 more. Breathing out, lift. And inhale, lower. We're going to do a little bit of a variation. You're going to make sure that you still have your legs tightly squeezed together, your feet are pointed, your toes are flexed. You're going to breathe out to draw your legs up. As you breathe in, I want you to bend your right knee towards you and lift your head up towards it. Breathe out to lengthen your spine down onto the mat, pressing that foot back up, and breathe in to draw the pelvis down. Breathe out, lift the pelvis. Inhale, left knee comes in towards you, you're bending your spine up towards it, length through the crown of the head. As you exhale, you're putting everything back up towards the ceiling, foot pressing up, your spine comes down, and then inhale, release the pelvis. So we're going to do 1 more on each side. Breathe out, lift the pelvis. Inhale, right knee comes towards you, you're scooping the spine up towards it. Exhale, press the balls of the feet up towards the ceiling, zip the legs and draw the spine down, and inhale, release the pelvis. Last one. You should feel like there's a big warm fire down in your lower belly. Breathe out, lift the pelvis up. Breathe in, left knee comes in towards you, scoop and wheel the spine. Exhale, press the balls up, or the balls of the feet up towards the ceiling, lower the spine. Inhale, lower the pelvis down to the mat. Bend the knees, draw the feet all the way back down onto the mat. You're going to open your knees out into Paterson-Jones line. You can place your hands onto your lower belly. And here I just want you to close your eyes and come back to your breath. Breathing in, feel your belly expand and feel that warmth that's been created there. And as you exhale, I want you to think of drawing that warmth up and out of your mouth as you breathe out. Almost like a cleansing sensation. You're breathing fresh air into the body, almost cooling that fire, and exhale for the flames to come out your mouth. So it's a nice, active, strong exhale. We're going to do 3 more breaths here. Breathing cold, nice, fresh air into the body and breathing the fire out. 2 more in your own time. Feeling a slight heaviness through the knees to open up the hips. And with each exhale, feel like your legs are relaxing even more. Doing 1 more breath. And then closing your knees towards each other. You're going to draw your arms up over your head. You're going to breathe in to reach the fingertips out away from you here, finding length. And as you breathe out, the arms stack over the chest. You tuck the chin and you wheel yourself all the way up. You should feel the low abdominals recruited to wheel you up there. From here, you're going to come into sitting. You can face forward towards your mat. I'm just facing towards you so that you guys can see me. And you're going to stack your right calf over your left calf. So it's in a nice fire-log position. And from here, take a moment to make sure you're sitting right on top of your sit bones. I like to take a moment to move everything aside. And this way we can have a nice long spine. You're going to breathe in to draw your arms up overhead. You can look up to your hands if that feels good. And as you breathe out, you're lowering your right hand down towards the mat and reaching to the left arm as you come up into your side reach. Hinging at that right elbow and then looking up towards the sky. See if you can roll your rib cage up. You're going to hold for one more breath. Breathing in space through the body, expanding the rib cage. Breathing out to see if you can reach a little bit more. And then inhaling to restack the spine, drawing the arms all the way back up, reaching, looking up if that feels good. As you exhale, going to the other side, left palm comes down into the mat, you're reaching through the right arm. Bend that left elbow to bring the forearm into the mat if you can. Otherwise, if you want to stay up here, that feels good. No expectation, going wherever you feel good. Doing one more breath in here. Find that open chest, look up, reach through the fingertips as you breathe out. And then inhaling, restacking yourself all the way upright. And breathing out to draw your arms all the way down towards your sides. Before we switch our calves, I want you to take hold of your right ankle and slide it over onto the outside of that left knee. And then turn your torso so you're facing towards that knee. So you've come almost into a little bit of a diagonal position. You want to sink that right glute and then hook the left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Your elbow is bent at a 90-degree angle. We're getting ready for a twist. Your right arm comes back behind you. Open the chest. Roll the shoulders back. From here, breathe in. Create space for the spine. Nice long spine. Open throat. And as you breathe out, initiating from the center, you're going to think bone, 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 rippling back into your twist. Head looks over the shoulder. Holding for 2 breaths in here. Breathing in, find that inhale, run through the spine to draw your length up through the crown of the head. And as you exhale through the nose now, so we've translated our breath from inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth to inhale and exhale through the mouth. You're going to breathe out to see if you can sink deeper. On your next inhale, you're going to think of center rotating and then each bone, bone, bone coming all the way to face forward or diagonally again. And then you're going to take that ankle and place it underneath the opposite ankle. So you're switching your calves over. So left calf on top of right calf. Make sure that your spine's nice and long. And then you're going to breathe in to draw your arms all the way up towards the sky, looking up if that feels good. And then breathing out, you're taking your left palm down towards the mat and reach to the right arm, hinging at the left elbow, so draw yourself down. And then rolling the ribcage back, opening the chest and looking up towards the sky. Inhale to create space through the body, find that natural stretch through the side of the body. And as you exhale, see if you can reach a little bit more. Breathe and press that left palm to come all the way upwards, arm comes up. And breathing out, right palm comes down, hinging from the elbow and then reaching through the left hands or left fingertips. Making sure you have a slouch towards your knee, nice and open. Inhaling, feeling the rib cage and the belly expand, creating a stretch. Exhale, see if you can reach a little bit more. And then breathing in to come all the way upright. Exhale, arms come down by your side. And then you're gliding that left ankle, placing the foot on the outside of the right knee. Sink that left glute down to the mat, so make sure you haven't lifted up so that your spine's all wiggly to the one side. You want to make it nice and long. And then you're going to hook the right elbow on the outside of that left knee. Left arm comes back behind you, palms down, or you can do your cupcake fingers, which is putting your fingertips into the mat and lifting your palm. You're going to breathe in to create space through the spine, open up the chest, roll the shoulders back. As you breathe out, think of the initiating through center, you're rippling yourself all the way back, looking over your shoulder. Breathe in to create space, and exhale, see if you can rotate a little bit deeper. Going for one more breath. Use that back arm to press yourself up so that your shoulders stay stacked over your hips. And then you're inhaling to draw yourself all the way to face back towards your diagonal angle. And then you're going to come into just a normal seated position, so easy seated position. Your calves are going to be crossed now. And you're going to take your palms and place them on the outside of your kneecaps. From here, we're just going into our seated cat-cow. So you're sitting nice and tall on your sit bones. As you breathe in, I want you to think of threading your chest through your shoulders. Roll the shoulders back, open the throat, and almost send the tailbone back behind you so you get a nice arch to the back. Into your cow position. And then as you breathe out, you're scooping the pelvis. Find those low abdominals you found earlier. To scoop the pelvis and wheel yourself back behind you, using the hands to guide your movement and a light press to the shoulders to create more space to the back of the spine. As you inhale, you're coming into your cows, threading the chest forward, opening the throat, rolling the shoulders back, breathing out, scooping and wheeling, tucking the chin. Doing a couple more like that, making it a nice fluid movement. Dancing with your spine. Think of almost a wave action as you come in between each cat and cow pose. So you're threading yourself through your shoulders as you come into your cow, and exhaling, rippling and waving back into your cat. Breathing in, length through the spine, and exhale, hollow and soften the belly, pulling yourself back towards your cow. On your next inhale, you're going to come forward into your cow. And then we're going to go into circles. As you breathe out, you're going to bring your spine through one side. Think of circling through the waist and back towards your cat position. And as you inhale, you're circling through the other side and coming forward into your cow. So you're breathing out for half a circle and breathing in to finish the circle. And just make it nice and yummy. If you have music going, you can move to the beat of the music. And again, make the movement your own. So if there's a part of you that wants to move in a slightly different way, feel free to completely. Make sure that you're just breathing deeply and you're rippling through the spine, oiling everything. Maybe you want to draw a little bit of a shoulder roll into it. Maybe there's a little part of you, a part within the circle that feels slightly tight and you want to take a moment to ease into it. That's completely fine. Go for it. And then you're going to reverse the circles if you haven't already. You're breathing out, coming back, rippling through the spine. Use that breath to facilitate your movement. So you're breathing length through your cow and exhaling to hollow and soften the belly as you come back into your cat. And just doing a couple more in your own time with your own breath. And on your next inhale, I want you to ripple all the way upright. Beautiful, guys. We're going to swing our legs back and come into our 4-point kneeling. So here you're going to have your hands underneath your wrists. You're going to have your knees underneath your hips. And take a moment to look through your thighs. And if you can see your feet, I want you to move them so that they're in line with your knees and you can't see them. So that way your feet, hip, and knee are in line. Take a moment to completely relax your chest through your arms, and then I want you to press through your palms. Find that activity and whip through the shoulder girdle so you get that nice strong sensation, almost like a proud line that, of the shoulders holding you up in your 4-point. From here, I want you to try to keep your upper spine completely isolated, and we're just going to go into those pelvic tucks and tilts. So you're going to breathe out to scoop the pelvis, keeping the upper spine as still as you can. And then inhale, lifting the tailbone up towards the sky. And you'll notice that a part of you wants to instinctively rock the spine forward. And that you'll find that if you do completely scoop your pelvis as much as you can, you will go into a full curl. So you're reining in the pelvic scoop and tilt a little bit, just so that it doesn't ripple up into your upper spine. Breathing out to tilt, or scoop, sorry. Finding those low abdominals. And inhaling, tailbone up towards the sky. Make sure that your head is lifted and your chin is slightly tucked just to save the back of the neck. Breathing and lengthening through the tailbone and breathing out to scoop. And then I want you to go into little circles, and what you want to picture is a pen at the back of your tailbone, and you're almost drawing circles with your tailbone behind you. So you're rolling through one side, a little bit of a side angle through or side bend through the lower spine, And then coming up into your tilted pelvis and then scooping through the other side to your scooped pelvis. That last part was a bit badly explained, but I think you guys understand me. Breathe in for half a circle and breathe out to finish the circle, so it's nice and slow. You're oiling the pelvis at the bottom of the lumbar spine. Try to keep that width through the shoulders, try to keep the upper spine as still as you can. And then reverse your circles. Breathing in for half, breathing out for another half. Really feeling everything oiling up, feeling your hip joints even oiling up. And your lumbar spine. And then bringing your pelvis into neutral. On the next inhale, you're going to go into full cat-cows. So you're going to breathe out to scoop the pelvis, allow yourself to wheel all the way into your cat. And then breathe in, open the sit bone, send the tailbone up and thread the chest through the shoulders. You lift and open the throat and chest. Breathe out, scooping the pelvis, ripple yourself down into your cat. And inhale, opening the chest, opening the throat, lifting the tailbone. Length of the spine, breathing out, scooping, coming down to your cat. Breathing and rippling forward. And make it a nice juicy movement, so make it almost like you're, again, waving and rippling through the body. Whether that means you want to rock a little bit back and forth, go for it. And then again, making this your own movement, so whether you want to bring a little bit of a circle into it, or maybe a side bend, maybe you want to draw or roll your shoulders a little bit. Just making sure that you're inhaling and breathing out deeply into the body, and use your breath to facilitate the movement. Don't let it force against your body. You want to make your breath and your body one. So move with your breath. Almost let your breath inspire whatever movement you choose to do. Going for 2 more breath cycles. Moving however feels nice and juicy and good. Last breath. And then inhaling to finish all the way into your neutral spine. You want to cupcake your hands, so like I said earlier, it's the fingertips down into the mat and your palms lift up off the mat. And from here, keeping your hips stacked over your knees, you're going to walk your hands forward into your puppy pose. With your puppy pose, I want you to think of, so you're cupcaking your arms to make your shoulders active. And I want you to think of your inhale drawing length through the shoulders and drawing the shoulders back. And as you exhale, you're sinking the chest down into the mat. So sorry, I just stayed up so I could speak to you guys, but otherwise you're sinking your chest all the way down into the mat. Your arms are nice and active. You're inhaling space into the shoulder girdle to stretch them. And as you're breathing out, you're sinking the chest deeper. Option to either lean on your, if you feel like your weight is on your chest, you can open up your throat and look forward. If you feel like you haven't nailed the weight on the chest, whether because you're struggling to get down or you just haven't got that distribution correct, that's completely fine. Then just make sure that you've tucked your chin and leaning on your forehead so you don't damage the neck. I like to just lean on my forehead because it feels better. And just taking a couple breaths here. Releasing the chest into the mat, nice active arms. And then you're going to breathe out to flatten the hands, scoop the pelvis, and draw yourself all the way back into a child's pose. Taking a couple breaths in here, breathing into the small of the back and breathing out to release further over your thighs. Option to take your arms down or your hands down towards your feet if you want a little bit more of a curl throughout the spine and a stretch to the width of the shoulder girdle. Breathing deeply into the belly and exhaling to release. And then bringing your hands, if they were down by your feet, back in front of you. And I want you to walk them as far away from you as you possibly can. Spread your fingers, so it's nice active hand. And as you breathe out, we're going to go into our spine ripple again with our hands a little bit further away from our knees, so it adds more space. We're going to breathe out to find that curl through the spine. Press through the calves as you draw yourself up and over your wrists. And as you inhale, you send the tailbone back, find that arch, lift the head, open the throat, and send yourself all the way back to that child's pose. Breathing out, rippling, allowing that scoop through the pelvis to facilitate the curl of the spine. As you inhale, you open the chest, open the throat, send everything all the way back. Breathing out, rippling forward. Draw the arm bones into the shoulders so they're nice and strong. It's quite an active arm movement, and you're inhaling to open everything and send it back. Again, moving to the beat of your music. Otherwise, if you don't have music, move with your breath. You can close your eyes here so it really feels like you're drawing yourself into your body and moving yourself how it wants to be moved. Feel every bone and every single vertebra rippling forward and rippling back. Just paying attention to how each part of your body activates and initiates itself one at a time as you ripple forward and back. Breathing and opening everything up, sending yourself back. We're going to do one more. Breathing out, rippling forward, tucking the chin, inhaling, opening the throat, sending the tailbone back. And on the next one, I want you to breathe out. You're going to stack yourself all the way over your wrists. Find your neutral spine, so now your shoulders are over your wrists. You're going to breathe out to send one leg back, tuck the toes, breathe in to press to the arms so you're nice and stable through the shoulder girdle. Stabilize the core, and as you breathe out, other leg comes out, you're in your plank position. You're going to take one breath in here. And then as you breathe out, you press to the arms, sending the tailbone up, sending the hips up towards the sky, and coming down into a downward dog. Almost have a sensation of wrapping the shoulder blades around the rib cage, that you haven't sunk and let go of your shoulders. You want nice active shoulders. And roll your elbows so they're facing towards each other, so you haven't locked your elbows. So strong active arms and shoulders. From here, you're just going to pedal the legs. Send one heel down, one at a time, bending one knee at a time, moving with your breath. Head is completely relaxed. Give it a little bit of a shake to make sure it hasn't, no tension is held in the neck. And then we're going to start preparing to go into a little bit of a slithery snake movement. I want you to start bending your knees over the other leg. So you're kind of doing a little bit of a rotation as you bend your knees. One knee, as it bends, comes over and in front of the other leg. And with this, you feel your pelvis roll around the bottom of your lower spine. So you're allowing a little bit of a bounce through the hips. And again, if you have music, allow yourself to bounce to the beat of the music. And then I want you to think of drawing your spine into this movement. It kind of becomes this whole slithery, snake-like movement where you're bending your hips and allowing your spine to follow the hips as they bounce from side to side. Bending and crossing the knees. Again, if you're struggling with this, close your eyes and draw your attention in towards your body. And just move how it wants to be moved. Don't force anything. The moment you force something, your body will resist and it will all stiffen up, and that will break the fluidity of the movement. And with this slithery snake movement, it's all about fluidity. Even with me talking, I'm getting a little bit distracted and I can feel myself struggling. As you breathe out, keeping this movement through the spine and through the body, I want you to look forward, and this is when you're really going to feel like a snake. You're going to breathe out and slither yourself all the way on top of your wrists. So shoulders stack on top of your wrists. Don't stop slithering. And then you're going to breathe in here, and as you exhale, press through your hands, and you're going to slither yourself all the way back up into your downward dog. And we're going to do that one more time. Keep slithering, bending the elbows, bending the wrists, bending the spine, bending the knees. You're going to look forward, breathe out, slither yourself all the way to the front of the mat. Breathing in here, don't stop moving. And then breathing out, press your hands, slither yourself all the way back. Keep bending the knees. Beautiful, guys. And then you're going to still the leg into a normal downward dog. And I want you to get the sensation of opening and closing your sit bones. So we're going to take a moment here to holding your downward dog strong through your arms. You're going to breathe out to think of wrapping your thighs outwards and allow your sit bones to separate away from each other, or picture it at least, sending the tailbone higher up towards the sky. As you breathe out, think of the thighs wrapping inwards and you're squeezing your glutes to create a small curl through the pelvis. Inhale, open the thighs outwards, open the sit bones, send the tailbone up towards the sky. Breathing out, wrap and close the glutes, wrap the thighs, allowing curl through the bottom of the spine. We're going to do this one more time. Inhale, opening up the sit bones, really picturing the thighs wrapping outwards. Breathe out, wrap them in, connecting the thighs. Feel like a slight zip through the middle of the thighs, so the inner thighs. Inhale, opening up the sit bones, and then we're going to bring a little bit of a ripple through this. So as you breathe out and close the sit bones, I want you to find a small curve through the spine, tuck the chin. As you inhale, you're opening up your sit bones, allowing that to arch your back and looking forward. Breathing out, close the sit bones, ripple through the spine, coming into your curl. Inhale, open the sit bones, tailbone up towards the sky, you're lifting the head up. And then make it a fluid movement, so move with your breath. Breathing out, curling. Inhaling, rippling, looking forward. Nice strong arms, breathing out, curling. And inhale, rippling forward. That means rippling up. Keep moving with your breath. And then you're going to bring your feet into this. So as you breathe out and curl, I want you to come up onto the balls of your feet. And as you inhale, opening and arching, press your heels down into the mat. Breathing out, come onto the balls of your feet, curling and lifting. Inhale, send the tailbones back, press the heels into the mat. And then we're going to bring this into a full body ripple. So you're breathing out, coming up into the balls of your feet, and a ripple over your wrists. Breathing in, bend the knees if you want to, send the heels back down, open the sit bones, coming back into your downward dog. Breathing out, rippling. Inhale, opening everything up, arch the spine, look forward, press the heels down. And moving with your breath, move with your music, just rippling the body. Make it fun. So really testing how your body moves, one by one by one. And when I say one by one, I just mean each bone in your body. Going for 2 more. Breathing and pressing back, exhaling, rippling forward. Last one. Pressing all the way back. And then on the next ripple forward, you're going to come over your wrists and come down, find your neutral spine, coming down into a chaturanga. You're breathing out, elbows in as you bend them, coming down. Inhale, flatten the feet, press up to an upward facing dog. There's a strong arm flow. As you breathe out, you're sucking through the belly to come all the way up into your downward dog. Flatten the feet. Look forward, step, walk or jump to the front of your mat, forward fold. And then from here I want you to bend the legs, squeeze the legs together, and you're going to take opposite arm to opposite elbow, so you're going into your ragdoll. And just allowing yourself to hang here. With your ragdoll, I want you to think of your elbows and the crown of your head, your heaviest point. You're breathing in to create length through the spine. And as you exhale, I want you to think of your heavy points sinking deeper into the mat, so you're folding a little bit deeper. And just taking a moment here to feel heavy. And again, with every exhale, as you draw further down into the mat, it's almost like you're creating space through each vertebra. And then you're breathing breath in towards those spaces. So using both the inhale and the exhale to create complete length through the spine. You can rock from side to side if that feels good. We're bending the knees to ease the legs into a straight position, but if you do feel comfortable to straighten them, go for it. Shake your head to make sure no tension's gone into the neck. And then releasing your hands down to the ground. You're going to breathe into your halfway lift, drag the hands up the shins, open the throat, thread the chest through the shoulders, lifting yourself perpendicular to your hips, 90-degree angle. Breathe out, rolling back down into your forward fold. And then from here, we're going to ripple up. So instead of going up, flat back, you're going to breathe out to think of each bone, each vertebra stacking on top of one another, one by one by one. And then you're in your Tadasana. You're going to open up your shoulders, palms facing forward, and close your eyes and breathe.